Hello and welcome to the Hart Men's Basketball Media Day. We are excited to hear from Central Methodist University, hear from the Eagles as they get ready for a new season. Let's go ahead and start with Isaiah. Isaiah, go ahead and introduce yourself, name, hometown, and year in school, please.
My name is Isaiah May from Belleville, Illinois. Grew up in Fairview Heights, Illinois. I actually went to high school in Belleville called Belleville East. I also went to a junior college called Lakeland College in Mattoon, Illinois. Julian Larry was the head coach there, and had a good experience there. And I met Matt Sherman through the recruiting process after the season, after my sophomore year at JUCO. And at Central, I major in criminal justice, and my experience at Central Methodist, it's been great. I can't really complain about anything for real. And the coaches, they trust me. My teammates, they trust me. And I started every game last season, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this year.
Yeah. Coach, go ahead and introduce yourself and for those that are watching, how many years you've been with the CMU program.
Hi, my name is Matt Sherman. I've been with the program I was 7 years as associate head coach. Also played here and graduated. So this will be my first year as the head coach. Kind of the running joke is I've probably been a part of the program somewhat for about 30 years.
Right.
Just been around it my whole life. So
Yep.
Excited to take the reins this year and looking forward to how things go.
Very good. Coach, tell us a little bit about Isaiah and what he means to the program.
Yeah, so one of the great things about Isaiah is his consistency, and he's just one of our most dependable players. Not only is he a great athlete, basketball player, he's a 4.0 student, and I like to mention that as much as possible. He's somebody, like he said, he started every single game last year. It would shock me if he doesn't do the same this year. So he's one of those guys. He plays multiple positions for us. There's times we need him to score. There's times we need him to guard. Never once heard him complain. He's competitive on and off the court, which is awesome. He's just one of those guys that, has always seemed to be doing the right things. And he's one of those guys that everybody wants a part of their program. And it's awesome to have him part of our program. We'll see if we can convince him to stay for even a COVID year after this year. But, he has that opportunity to graduate, and we're just looking forward to having a good senior year for him.
Isaiah, how have practices gone so far? How is all the gelling with kind of new faces as you get ready for this season?
Practices have been great and very competitive. We're always competing, going at each other, and getting better every day. And yeah, and the new guys, that I get along very well with them. There's about 7 or 8 of them that are new, and they all been nothing but competitive and great, and we're all going just going at it at practice.
Coach, how about from your perspective? How's practice going? What are some positives you've seen from your squad?
Same thing. So I thought we had a really good preseason. I thought for the most part, the guys came in pretty good shape, and I thought we added to that with the month or so before practices started. But like Isaiah said, they've been very competitive. We do a lot of competition drills, just trying to have the guys get after it. We haven't really defined roles yet, but I think some of them are starting to separate themselves. About half the team is new, but it was nice being a first-year head coach, having the other half with a solid core that kind of already know my mentality and my temperament and maybe what to expect from me. So I think that's helped rather than just having a completely new team, because most of our new players will have significant roles within the program. But I thought everybody's gelled really well so far this fall, and it's making us really excited to get things going.
Coach, you're entering year one, as head coach at your alma mater program. Like you said, you've been around pretty much your whole life. What does this opportunity mean to you to take over this program?
Well, the exciting thing for me, obviously, it's an institution I care deeply about, but not many first-year head coaches get a chance to coach at a university that has expectations like we do, or that's coming off of a national tournament berth. Normally when you're a first-year head coach, you're taking over a program that either didn't do well or some type of change. So, I'm lucky that I inherited a good program, something that I've like to think I kind of helped get to this point too the last few years. But for me, it's just, there's all kinds of emotions just being a part of it. And it's something I don't know if I ever really thought was going to happen. But with this profession, you just kind of got to go with it.
Isaiah, your team had a great year last year, advanced to the national tournament. What was that experience like for you to play in the national tournament? And how hungry are you guys to get back there this year?
It was definitely a dream come true, and we definitely were very hungry to get back at it and go farther than we did last year. But yeah, I mean, playing at our first game we played against Sagu, right? Yeah, there was a lot of people there. I mean, it was fun, but I mean, we were still playing to compete, even though it didn't end the way we wanted to. But we were definitely hungry to get back at it.
Isaiah, what do you hope to bring to the team this year as a leader, from a leadership standpoint on the floor and off the floor?
Well, me, I just I do what it takes to win, whether it's scoring, rebounding, playing defense, and all the little things. Because I learned back at JUCO that the little things are like very important. And yeah, and like, as a team, just play together, run the offense, run the floor. That's a big one that Matt's been on us about this year. And yeah.
Isaiah, for fans that maybe haven't been to CMU, they're going to a game for the first time this year. Kind of describe the campus and the Fayette community.
Okay, well, Fayette's a very small town, and Central Methodist is probably the biggest part of Fayette. I mean, Central Methodist is like we have our like own little community inside of another community. So yeah, like if you're driving to Central Methodist, you're probably going to be like, where am I going? Like, am I going the right way? But as soon as you get here, and a lot of people, they're very nice, very polite, and if you go to the basketball games, and they're sometimes our student section is there, and they're cheering us on, and it can be loud at times. Sometimes it may not be as loud, but the players were always competing. So yeah.
And coach, you know the Heart well as a player, as an assistant coach, now a head coach. Talk about the conference and what will it take for your team to try and stay in that top 3 or 4 in the conference and advance to nationals.
I think consistency is a big thing with this. We play a lot of conference games. The season is a long season. So I think getting off to a good start and teams that are able to be consistent and just withstand or, overcome adversity. You gotta try to find a way to win games, take care of the games on your home court, see which games you can sneak out on the road are huge. When you can get road wins in conference, it's huge. But I have so much respect for the coaches in our league. And I think that's what separates our league from some of the others is there's a lot of talent all over the country. But I don't know if there's a league that has a better group of coaches. And even though we've lost some really good coaches here lately, the other coaches we have in this league, I mean, that's the difference. It's a mental grind too, because every game that those teams are prepared for you to come to their place.
And Isaiah, your perspective as a student athlete playing in the Heart, what's it like for you and your teammates to play night in, night out in such a tough conference?
Well, it's very our league, our conference is very very talented, and every team we play is like they can play. Like there's a lot of talented players. But we know that as long as we play hard, stay together, and like Coach said, overcome adversity, we should be able to battle and win a lot this year.
And with that same thing, Coach, last question for you. We've asked every head coach the same thing, but what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear Heart of America men's basketball?
For me, growing up, it's probably been the coaches, like I talked about earlier. There's still coaches in the league that I played against when I was a player. Obviously, the few that have retired here recently. There's so much respect for everybody that's involved in our league. And then what's also kind of interesting is how many of the coaches at our schools that also played at their universities. And I just don't know if you're seeing that as much at other conferences. So, I think we put out good basketball just in general. I think you're going to see good talent, good basketball, and it's fun to watch.
Awesome. Well, good stuff, Coach. Isaiah, thanks so much for your time and best of luck this season.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you.